Have you ever given an exam which went pretty good and then come back home after weeks, seen the results and then be like, what? That is my score? Cannot be. I gave such a good exam. Why are my internal marks like that? Why is someone else getting so good marks and I did not, but I put in efforts? Well, the difference between what you scored and what someone else scored who got good marks is not a lot. It's just 10 words. 10 words you missed on the exam day, 10 words you did not know, 10 keywords which you forgot during the exam which you had to write. And I'm here to tell you these words so the next time you have the same question or another question, it is answered well and you score a lot. So today we are discussing peptic ulcer. We are starting with GI, very interesting GI pathology. And this is one of the most common questions, one of the most favorite questions in pathology, peptic ulcer. So we start. Imagine there is a long question or a short question on peptic ulcer. How do you write it? What are the key points? Number one, we start with definition. What is definition? Chronic mucosal ulceration of where? The distal stomach or the duodenum, right? You have to mention this. This is the most important definition. Next, you go into etiology or risk factors. Number one, in bold, H. pylori, 90% of the cases. And then other risk factors. Then you go to pathogenesis. In pathogenesis, there are two important points. List the damaging factors, list the protective factors. Right? There is increase in damaging factors, there is decrease in protective factors. Very important. Very, very important. And then you can mention H. pylori, incidence, and other factors that play a role in the disease. But the important one is mentioning the damaging factors and the protective factors and the imbalance of the damaging and the protective factors. Next, we go into the microscopy or the morphology. The site, you mention it again here because maybe the teacher just checks the morphology. Maybe the question is just the morphology. Then you have to mention the site again. Duodenum and gastric antrum. The features of the ulcer. The most important part of this question. Solitary lesion, small size, punched out lesions, leveled margin with mucosa, pinpoint hemorrhage. The most important points. Then you write the subheading layers and you mention Ashkenazi zones, which is given in Robbins. You can get the diagram, make the diagram, definitely make the diagram very scoring. After that, clinical features, the most important being burning epigastric pain, which worsens at night and improves post-food. And there can be iron deficiency anemia. Complications is the next heading where you have to mention perforage, bleeding, and obstruction. You would read in medicine soon why that happens and what can be the management of bleeding, of gastrointestinal bleeding. So let's revise all the points which are important. The definition, chronic mucosal ulceration, the etiology, H. pylori and others, the pathogenesis, damaging factors and protective factors, morphology, the site, the features of the ulcer, which is solitary lesion, punched out lesion, leveled out margins with mucosa, pinpoint hemorrhage, small size, the layers, Ashkenazi zone, clinical features, burning epigastric pain, and complications. That's it for peptic ulcer. I hope you scored well. I know you would. See you in the next one.